Hi, it's day 16 of our juice adventure together. And today we're going to see what the rave is all about concerning celery juice. We have one bag of celery here and it makes about 16 ounces of juice. It's recommended that you drink 16 ounces in the morning, wait 30 minutes before eating any other fruits and vegetables. Now, there are health benefits to drinking celery juice by itself, and that includes helping to heal your digestive tract and to also cleanse the liver. Now, the liver is one of the main detoxification systems in our body, so we definitely want to make sure that we're eating foods that support and heal the liver. Now, I love eating celery, but I never knew what it would taste like to drink celery juice by itself. So I brought along some green grapes and some green apples for our juice adventure because we want to make it fun. Now, this is one bag of celery and it makes about 16 ounces. So I'm going to juice that first, see how it tastes, and then we'll just add in the other fruits for fun. All right, let's get started. It smells nice and fresh. As with celery, we want to make sure we pluck off the leaves because the leaves are the bitter part. We don't want to juice that. So we typically don't drink celery juice by itself anyway, so we definitely don't want to add to the bitter taste. Almost done. And that one bag, it has filled up our chamber here. And this is exactly 16 ounces. So we are right on the money. And again, we peel the leaves off, so we don't want to juice those. And I'm excited. This will be my first time drinking celery juice. All right, and you know I love to show you this part when I open the spout. You can see the green juice coming out. There it is. So I'm just going to double check on my measuring cup. It's just shy of 16 on here, but let's try it. Wait, let me smell. Smells like celery. Tastes like celery. That is a bit strong. But yeah, so if it's healthy to drink 16 ounces a day, then I would be willing to do that and adjust to the taste. Now, what I would do is I would pour it in a jar and take a straw and just drink it so that I don't have so much taste hitting my tongue. But it's actually not bad. I think just put some ice on it and it'll be really good. But I think I'm going to add the grapes and the apples just to add some more flavor to it and a little bit more sweetness to it. So we're going to put that back there, and it's not so bad. But it is said that the salt clusters in the celery, along with the something else in there, it actually helps to pull out the toxins from your body. So that's always a good thing. So let's get some grapes in here. some grapes. Let's add in the apple. And this juice is really pretty. You got the green color from the celery, you got the green color from the grapes, you got the green from the apples. So it just makes for a pretty juice. Makes you think of those sour apples, not sour apples, the hard candy, the sour apple flavored candies. All right, looks like we got a jam in here. There we go. Alright, so that cluster of grapes and one apple actually makes about 16 ounces. So you got equal parts celery juice and equal parts apple and grapes. Pretty. That's my favorite part, letting the juice out. All right, so let me go ahead and knock this out. Yep. Definitely tastes like celery, but it's not bad. Not bad at all. I mean, if you're more concerned about your health than the taste of the juice, then you'll be fine. I think that's the most important thing. It's better than taking medicine, right? All right, so let's give this our nice concoction here a try. Oh man, it looks like, man, this is so pretty. It looks like a sour apple. Looks like, yeah, this is good. Oh. That's good. The grapes, that green apple really makes this drink. Oh, it tastes so good. You've got to make this. Got to make this. I have some grapes left over. I got 2 apples left over. So believe you me, I will be making this again. So let's move on to our raw food recipe. Our raw food recipe for today is peanut butter balls. So what we have is some creamy peanut butter, some coconut flour, some coconut flakes, some raisins that I have had soaked in water for about 20 minutes. I have cinnamon, salt, and a little bit of agave in case I need to add more sweetener. And the ingredient that makes it all worthwhile is orange zest. So I'm going to zest the orange, and then everything else is going to go in the food processor. We're going to roll our balls, roll them in some coconut flakes, and we will be done. So again, you just want to take a grater and you just want to zest the outside of the orange, making sure that you don't get the white part. We just simply want the orange part. And because I love orange zest, I'm going to go around this whole lemon, and it's starting to smell so good. This part usually takes the longest, and it's a good arm workout too. And you can see the orange zest actually collecting in our grater here. And then once I'm done, I'm just going to clang it down and it's all just going to dump into the bowl there. This reminds me of when I was in elementary school and the cafeteria ladies used to make those peanut butter bars for dessert. Man, they were so good. That was my favorite dessert, peanut butter. And I loved the peanut butter cookies they made too because they were so soft, chewy, and had the right amount of nuts in it. And of course had those beautiful fork marks in it. So even though we're rolling these into a ball, you can definitely roll them into a ball and press them out and flatten them out and actually make cookies out of them as well. And if you wanted to, you could put them in, I have a dehydrator, which is like very low temperature, just basically circulating hot air. If I wanted to dry them out a little bit, I could put them in a dehydrator. If you don't have a dehydrator, this really is a good workout. You can definitely put them in the oven on warm and maybe crack the door to leave it open and let them just dry out a little bit. They'll be just a little crunchy on the outside and still moist on the inside. Okay, I think we're just about done with this. Yeah, we got a lot of zest in there. Boy, it looks good. Smells good too. See how much zest we have? That's a lot. All right, so I'm gonna take off our bowl here and I'm just gonna tap it. Sorry about the noise, but I just need to get that all in here. And this is the only way to do this. Oops. I'll get that back in there later. All right, I think that's good. So you see it got all in there. Get that back connected. Okay, so I'm gonna put the raisins first because normally I use dates. And dates will be great for this as well, but I only have raisins today. So depending on the amount of raisins I have, it will depend on how much peanut butter I put in, because the raisins and the stickiness of the raisins is what's actually going to bind everything together. So I want to make sure that I don't overdo it because we don't want this to be runny. Now, all peanut butter is not created equal. There are some peanut butters that have extra oil in it, extra salt, even has some added sugar. So the peanut butter that I typically get is the natural peanut butter. And so it comes out a little bit more runnier than your creamy peanut butter that's kind of more thick and solid and held together when you pull it out of the jar. So this is a little bit more runny, so I'm going to actually have to use a little bit less than I would normally use. So I'm going to say we'll start with about 3 tablespoons. Let's make it 4. Because again, if it gets a little too moist, I have the coconut flour that I can add to it. And actually I put a little bit of coconut flour just to kind of give a little bit more depth of flavor. But we'll see after we mix it. We're going to add a little bit of cinnamon. I would say a half a teaspoon just to start. We definitely don't want to overdo it with the cinnamon because the cinnamon has a very strong flavor and we don't want it to overpower our orange zest. And of course, always a little bit of salt. I would say maybe a pinch. And then we'll see if we need to add any sweetener. So all of this goes in, we'll mix it up and see, and we'll check the consistency. starting to incorporate, so you want to make sure that the raisins incorporate into the batter well, because once it does, it'll actually start to clump up. That means all the moisture is starting to mix in with the raisins and get absorbed. Show you what it looks like. Ooh, nice. I have to mix it around because you can see some lemon zest still on the bottom. But check out, that's how we want it. Look, oh, this is perfect. This is perfect. It should be nice and gooey from the stickiness and the gooiness from the raisins. All right, so I'm gonna mix this in again because I want to make sure all that lemon zest off the bottom gets mixed in as well. Let me smell. Oh my gosh, yes, I'm smelling that. Probably, I smell the zest. And while I have it open, why not just go ahead and taste it too, huh? A little bit more cinnamon. That's nice and thick. So what I'm going to do at this point, I'm actually going to add just a tad bit peanut butter. I would say another tablespoon. And we actually don't need the almond flour because I thought the peanut butter was just going to make it a little too moist. But we may add it actually to coat our hands when we roll it so it doesn't stick. Alright, there we go. So let's make sure that orange zest rather is getting off the bottom. Make sure that it tastes more like peanut butter and less like raisins. That's why I added more peanut butter the last time. Done with the knife, spatula. So we're gonna taste it again, make sure we got that peanut butter smell. And you can see that it actually turned dark because of the raisins. So I wanna make sure that it's not too raisiny. Man. That's good. A little more peanut butter, just a little bit. Well, not a little bit. I'll say another tablespoon. I taste that orange zest coming through really good, and the cinnamon. And vanilla extract. We need to add that as well. So while this is mixing, I'll go get the vanilla extract. That'll just give it a little bit more depth of flavor. See how that's rolling into our ball? That means it's it's incorporating really good. All right. And what I may have to do also is once I take it out, just kind of mix everything in by hand, kind of like a batter. And I do see some of the oil coming through, so I definitely feel like I need to add some flour to this. Oh man, that vanilla flavor with this lemon zest, this is something good. And these are all natural ingredients, nothing processed. That's good. I think I still need to add some more peanut butter. Because again, I do want that peanut butter flavor. So I was concerned that I was going to put too much peanut butter, and actually didn't put enough. But I'll make sure I put all the measurements in the post it with the video for you. So I think this was probably about 3/4 of a jar. I think I just used a whole jar of peanut butter. But that is okay, because that's what we want, right? We want peanut butter balls, not raisin balls. But it's so good. Either way, if you like it with less peanut butter, you can eat it just like that with the raisins. It actually tastes like cookie dough. All right, so give me a minute. I gotta wrestle to get this back on. There we go. So everything's blended up. Now we're ready to take it out, and we're just going to put it in our bowl and work it with our hands. So this is what it looks like. So it's moist, it's sticking together, but still a little crumbly. I'll be able to show it to you. Oh, see it coming out? So it's kind of crumbly, but moist and sticking together. So that's good. Now I used creamy peanut butter. Feel free to use crunchy as well. And if you use creamy for the batter, once you've made your balls, you can definitely take some peanuts and roll the balls in the peanuts for a coating. Which I would have done, but I have some coconut flakes that I want to use up, so I'm going to do them and see how peanut butter and coconut go together. So I have it in my bowl here, so if I need to add any more flavorings like cinnamon, salt, or my agave, or if I want to put some flour in there, again I'm using coconut flour, then you can do that. So you saw that my glove fell, so I'm going to go get another glove. Alright, got another glove. Ready to go. Okay, oh my gosh, this feels amazing. It feels so fluffy. Oh, let me get in closer. Oh, this feels like, it's like a peanut butter batter. And we didn't use, and it's vegan. And it's raw. We didn't use any flour, no eggs, no milk. All we used was just raisin, orange zest, some salt, what else? Cinnamon. And that's all that's in here. And it just feels so nice and fluffy. And it's moist. See the oil on my hands? So the oil is actually helping it stay together. So when I roll it, it's actually falling apart. So I actually kind of have to press it together, or this is where I can actually add in some coconut flour to kind of help bind it together. Or if I just want to squeeze it into a ball like this and maybe put it in the refrigerator to let it set, That's good. That's a good idea as well. So let's put in just a sprinkle of coconut flour, just to kind of help bind it together, or maybe just to help us roll it. And we really don't need to do that. Actually, it depends on what kind of texture you want, like when you bite into it. It's like a cookie dough. It's just so soft. All right, so I just sprinkled a little bit on top, and we're just gonna mix that in, just so that we can roll it. It'll kind of help stay together, because it is sticking together. We want it to stay together. In fact, let me grab another fork and taste it one more time. Look at that. Mmm. That orange zest. Oh, it tastes so good. It tastes so good. Let's see. It still is a little bit moist. Maybe I shouldn't have put so much peanut butter in it, but the taste, the flavor, that's why we have our flour. So we're going to add some more flour. Oh man, and it still tastes like peanut butter. So the coconut flour is not taking away from the flavor of the peanut butter. And that's what you want. So this is what it looks like now. It's nice and crumbly. But again, when we squeeze it, okay, so the best thing is not to roll it. We'll just squeeze it into a ball, like that. And then we'll just let it firm up in the refrigerator. And if you want, I actually have two toppings. You remember that caramel sauce we had with our chocolate avocado pudding? So I have some of that, and I have some coconut flakes. So I'm trying to decide which one I want to use. I think I want to use both. So let's try the coconut flakes first. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Peanut butter coconut bonbons, or peanut butter balls, whatever you want to call it. Let me get this in the picture so you can see the balls. Let's get some of this out of the way. You see the ball? Oh, there it is. There it is. Beautiful. I'm just going to roll it around in the coconut flakes, because again, it has that oil residue on the outside, so whatever you roll it in, it's going to stick. And I do have some of this caramel sauce that I want to use. So instead of rolling it, I'm just going to take a fork and just drizzle over it. Let's put that one right there. I'm just going to take some of this luscious sauce. I told you I'm going to bottle this. This is so good. Once you taste it, you will believe me. Oh, look at that. We're just drizzling that right over that ball. Yeah. Oh, man. Look at that. That is pure yumminess. Can you see that? Oh. Of course, I'll bring them all up close once we're done. So let me finish rolling these up, and we will plate these up, grab our juice, and we'll see what our word of the day is for day 16. Our peanut butter balls are ready. We have some covered in coconut flakes, and we have some covered in my homemade raw caramel sauce. And let's not forget our sour apple celery juice. That's what I'm calling it. Remember, the Jolly Ranchers was the name of the candy, and the sour apple flavor was the best. So this reminds me of sour apple Jolly Ranchers. So we're going to call this our sour apple celery juice. Today is day 16, so let's go to our juice advent calendar. And our word today is A+. If someone had to grade you today, if they had to grade you right now, what would you get an A+ in? Would it be how you treat your family, how you love on your family, the job that you do at work, the amount of work that you do in your business, or even the work that you do in the community? If you were graded, what would you get an A+ in? For me, I say I'd get an A+ for these peanut butter balls. Until next time.